put him right back in a place with adult great horned owls that will take care of him. But in the case of a funny thing about great horned owls is they can't really count. So we actually have a female who will raise our orphans. So if someone brings us an orphan, we raise them with our female who lays eggs every year, and she will raise them as though they are her own. So we can get them right back out. In the case of Gordon here, someone found him, and instead of taking him to us, they actually kept him as a pet for at least a few weeks, which is very bad. That's actually illegal, and it permanently damaged him. He cannot hunt. He has no idea how to behave like an owl. You see, he's not. His posture's kind of odd.
Yeah.
He thinks people are owls and owls are people. When he makes a noise, it is not an adult noise he should be making. He begs for food.
Was that
so
the
in his
tweet
case, the
that he
tweet
made?
that he made was his food begging call. So in his case, he never learned how to properly hunt. So in his case, he will have to stay here forever, only because someone did not immediately bring him to a licensed facility. There are also many cases, it's very difficult to keep these birds healthy in a house. You can't keep them in your attic, they'll crash around. They also do poo a whole lot. They're just not very fun as pets. They look very endearing and cute when they're small and fluffy. Believe me, when we take them back and forth, it's like hugging a little cloud and you just love it. But they don't do very well as pets because they do not have that social urge. They don't come to you and say, let me just sit in your lap and have some pets like a nice cat would. Instead they say, you're in my territory and I have knives on my feet, so get out of here. So in his case, Gordon here, you're being a melting owl. I'm not sure why you're melting.
So that little tweet is what you'd hear from a younger...
Yes. He is about 8 years old. He should be making a big hoo-hoo-hoo, but he's only made it a couple times in his life.
I was going to say, he can't be trained to do that, I guess.
Nope. Once they're past their imprinting stage, you can try to train certain behaviors. For instance, he did learn to recognize that a dead rat was food, but you can never teach certain instincts. Certain instincts involve the imprinting. He will never see another great horned owl and think, I want you to be my girlfriend, which is what you need to have them thinking. Instead, he sees people and he doesn't think, I want you to be my girlfriend. He thinks, you're my mom, you're my mom, you're my mom, you're my mom. So,
and that was just a couple of weeks of captivity.
They're all fully grown in 12 weeks. There's a critical imprinting period for them in the first few weeks. So if it had only been 1 week, maybe we could have made it work out. But when we put him in with our adult female who raises them and teaches them, she actually rejected him. She knew enough was wrong about him that he would be right at your feet begging while all the other babies would be in the back hiding. So that's an example of permanent, the wiring in your head. It's just like human children. If you don't learn human speech in a critical development period, for us it's a matter of years because we have about 10 to 15 years of development. For the owls, the years that they would be learning speech if they were humans is pretty much the first 10 weeks of their life.
Wow.
So it's an example of, unfortunately, this is a bird that otherwise would have been perfectly healthy and could have been released, but because someone tried to keep him, he can never go back out into the wild.